So the biggest news of the last season for the Miami Dolphins, of course, is the health of their quarterback. Tua suffered some nasty concussions. A lot of people thought he might even retire. Dolphins were looking great. They went 3-3 to start the season, and then they went on a little bit of a run. Had an 8-3 record at one point. Then the injury bug hits, and Tua, yeah, things kind of just they hit a rough patch. I don't know if it was people figured out their offense or whatnot, but that offense, I mean, you had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle both leading the league. They were like two of the top three receivers by yards come by like week 8. So this team is, I mean, just look at this. You got the top leading receiver, 94, 190, 102, 160, 47, 177, 88, 188, 143. I mean, Hill, Tyree, 146, 114, 143, and it's either Waddle or Hill. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, good season overall for the Dolphins. Not what they were expecting after such a great start heading into the bye week. They're looking like they could possibly get the number 1 overall seed. Have a little hiccup area here. Granted, they do play a lot of better, better competition right there. But and they end up losing a close one that they actually they could have snuck out and won. That's right. Tua didn't play in the playoff game, did he?
No, sir.
Because I didn't realize how late in the season it was that he got his second concussion, huh?
Yeah, they shut him down they said pretty much a day or two after that happened that he was not going to be back.
Because he got the first one right here
against Cincinnati. He went out against Cincinnati and got that one. That was
he had that. Yeah, because they had that big. So he had that big hit Sunday, and then 4 days later put him out in Cincinnati.
Dude slammed him. Dude like grabbed him, and I mean he slammed his like head snapped by. I mean it was a pretty vicious hit. I mean, dude wasn't trying to do anything dirty. He was just playing football, but it's just the way it worked out and the way he slammed him down, man. That's when he went like, his hands were all stiffened up. I mean, it was a very scary scene. That first one. Yeah.
And then he had another one, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to shut this down. And so, yeah, disappointing. Man, granted, if they had Tua, who knows what they do. So, the big news or the big talk this season is can he stay healthy? And if he does stay healthy, what's the potential for the Miami Dolphins, Cricket?
Man, if he stays healthy and plays at the level he clearly is capable of, I think the sky is the limit for these guys. They got a lot of weapons in there that can, around him, that as long as he stays on the field, I think they got a shot to go up and beat anybody on any given day. But once again, he had the big hip injury at Alabama his last year and stuff that was gruesome. That's a serious injury that would end most people's career right there. If this had been 10, 15 years ago, it probably would have. But he's had that already, and now you got the concussion stuff, which is obviously nothing to play with. They're not going to play with it with all the development CTE and things like that. So, I mean, one more concussion, man, and I think you seriously got to consider life after football because, it's great and all that, but this man could.
My thing too is, but did they do anything for the O-line? Yeah, we're going to look into that. We're going to see what they did for the O-line and what they did in the offseason and during the draft. My big thing is usually we see these teams have some success. Like, obviously, they had a lot of offensive success. And then usually the next year after, it was Mike McDaniel's first season as head coach down there, right? First season with his offense. Typically in the NFL, these guys in the offseason make adjustments and maybe they'll be able to slow this offense down. Maybe these NFL teams now have the film on them. We'll see. I want to see if that offense can continue. Basically, if it's going to continue like the Chiefs continue, if they're going to continue to adapt and be creative, or if they're going to get figured out. It'll be interesting. It's going to be a good test for the young head coach out there.
Yeah, I like Mike McDaniel, man. I really do. He's kind of an offensive guru of sorts. Been part of that Kyle Shanahan tree there, the quarterback whisperer and whatnot. So I like Mike McDaniel, but like you said, the NFL, man, these defensive coordinators and stuff are geniuses too. And guys usually adjust in year 2, and you got sometimes see a significant drop off. So anxious to see how that plays out.
All right, let's talk about the draft. Their draft picks. I believe they didn't have a first round draft pick because that was part of the Tyreek Hill trade. I believe, right?
No, because they're cheaters.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, tampering with Tom, or else they would have had like the 22nd overall pick. That's right.
took the pick, man. It said nobody gets it. We're just taking it. We'll have 31 in the first round. Quit cheating. So they started it off in the second round. With the 20th pick, they get Cam Smith, the cornerback out of South Carolina. This was a little high for me on this guy, but he's a very reliable corner. He's smooth, got great foot speed, very fluid hips, more of an instinctive guy. He's played a lot of college football at South Carolina, big-time college football against big-time competition. 6'1", 180, so that's a good-sized cornerback right there. He only had a 74 overall pre-draft grade, but they like him. Went a little higher for me, but they get an instinctive guy that's definitely a reliable cover corner.
Imagine if they would have had that first-round pick because they didn't get caught tampering. Tom would have went there. They probably would have won the Super Bowl last year. I mean, look, you give Tom all those weapons. Woo.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true.
Go
21st pick in the third round, Devin Shawnee. That's what we're gonna go with right there. Running back out of Texas A&M. What's your guess, man? How you saying it?
A Shane. I don't know.
A Shane. Devin. We'll call him Devin. Running back out of Texas A&M. This guy was actually more highly rated than Cam Smith. He's 78 overall ranked, the fifth ranked running back, 75 pre-draft grade. Another guy that's played a lot of big SEC football. We'll have to see how he adjusts in here. You know, they don't have any solidified running back down there, so a guy that may step in, be plug and play early on. 6th round, 20th pick, Elijah Higgins, the wide receiver out of Stanford. Pretty good sized guy, 6'3", 235. So maybe can put him in the slot, maybe provide some mismatches in the red zone, things like that. Beyond that, don't know a whole lot about him. Didn't watch a whole lot of Stanford last year. They were pretty terrible. And then 21st pick in the 7th round, and then they get some value right here. They get Ryan Hayes, the offensive tackle from Michigan. Michigan has been the best offensive line in college football for the last 2 seasons. This guy was a big part of that. So I think they get some value getting this guy late in the 7th round. I think that he's going to wind up being able to play some for him this year.
So got a big boy out there. They at least addressed that because it's kind of crazy. See him taking some of their so they're taking some of their top picks here. I guess they took their top pick on defense here. But by that point, a lot of the big boys on offensive line have been gone because it was a big boy draft.
And they didn't have a lot of capital here. Obviously, only 4 picks due to the tampering stuff and different Tyreek Hill trades and whatnot. But I would have liked to seen them address the need at tight end. They went with the offensive tackle. Could have probably used a guard more than that. Inside linebacker, both linebacker spots are really, really something they could have feel like invested some of this in. I think maybe I would have probably tried to invest in one of those linebackers around round 3 with that 21st pick. You get the running back. Like I said, don't have any running back down there really that you know for sure is going to be your go-to guy. But at this same time, I don't know that this guy is going to be it. I don't have any reason to believe. Like I said, he's played at a big-time school, but didn't blow the doors off or anything like that. So I don't know. There's some other needs I would like to have seen them address. But running back was also a big need. So we'll just have to see how it develops. But with a little capital.
Let's check out some of their roster moves. I can tell you firsthand, River Craycraft right here, re-signed with them. This dude I was at a party with him in college, and this motherfucker holds up his hand. And he's not that big of a dude, but his hands are like twice the size of my hands. And that's a reason why he's so good at catching the football.
Right. Yeah.
He's got these fucking monsters. He's holding it because people are asking at the party. He just holds up his hand. I'm like, Jesus, dude.
Did he go to Washington State?
Yeah, he could.
Okay.
He was there when I was there.
That's cool. That's cool too. Man, you know all kinds of people. We got to make some phone calls, man. We need some guests, man.
I know. I need to get
Actually, we already talked about this, man. We're a sports betting show. We got to keep these guys away from that.
It's true. Active players, at least.
They clearly don't know how to handle it, so we got to keep them away from it.
Okay, let's see. These are some people that they re-signed. I
don't see any. Like I said, you get Mike White right there. That might wind up being huge for backup QB if Tua can't stay healthy.
Okay. Here's what this is what I'm getting confused on. I'm like, I thought these were all re-signs, and then I'm like, wait a minute, this was not a re-sign. Okay, so they end up getting a linebacker, Malik Reed, out in free agency from Pittsburgh. They stole our punter.
I was going to say, stole your punter, man. Damn.
Oh, here we go. Offensive line, Dan Feeney. There we go. Braxton Berrios. Yes. Wide receiver Braxton Berrios took some Jets guys. It's always amazing me how many of these players switch around in division. You would think that wouldn't happen as much, but it happens all the time.
Right.
I think a good pickup they got is Mike White. Let me see if I can
Yeah.
find a better.
Yeah, that's what I say, man. That could be big time with two of the injury stuff and the uncertainty surrounding that. Mike White stepped up and played well for the Jets last year, so a quality backup right there could loom large for the Dolphins in spots.
Yeah. Is there anything here that's really standing out to you from any of these guys? They re-signed Gaskin,
Jeff Wilson
re-signed
Jr.
Jeff Wilson.
I like Jeff Wilson Jr. Guy Raheem Mostert, two guys that have played with Mike McDaniel out in San Francisco. So two guys he's comfortable with, but it's obviously going to be a running back by committee. That's big time.
Jalen Ramsey, baby.
Big time.
That's a good one. Re-signed their tackle.
If I'm not mistaken, he's from just up the road. I think he went to school in Nashville. I think he went to Brentwood Academy. If I'm not mistaken.
So I know that they're in the market to hopefully get Dalvin Cook, but they're going with the San Francisco approach where they're just going to have a gang of guys. Most of them old San Francisco players. You got Jeff Wilson Jr., Raheem Mostert, Gaskins, and they're just going to plug and play these guys to whoever, just rotate them in.
Seems to be the direction we're headed in the NFL, man. Like we've said multiple times now. You look at the two teams played the big game last year, running back by committee.
So let's see some of like salary cap wise. This kind of gives us an idea of like who they signed, who the big players are in their eyes, because obviously the guys that get the most money are the guys that they're more excited about. So David Long, linebacker, signed him from Tennessee. He is now in Miami. Obviously the Mike White deal. God, backup quarterbacks, man. 2 years, $8 million. Man, oh man. Another outside linebacker. It looks like they're really trying to beef up that defense between the draft and then some of these free agencies. So then this guy, never mind. He went to Pittsburgh. Sorry. I forget how to read it.
Yeah.
Read that. Then they re-sign a bunch of these guys. Then they lost Mike Gesicki though to my Patriots. Braxton Berrios, Dan Feeney. It doesn't look like they had much salary cap space, man, which is crazy. Although they are paying a wide receiver $30 million a year, so
it's hard to say, man. That contract piles up.
Look at all these are kind of just low level contracts. There's no real big signings. Their biggest signing, I would say, would be obviously David Long, but would be Mike White.
I would agree with that.
Which is, it's good to have a good backup quarterback like that, but
but you don't want your top free agent signing to be your backup quarterback.
Yeah, you think they could have?
I think Jalen Ramsey's obviously the top.
Then again, there are a lot of because they didn't need much on the offensive side of the ball, right? You're just trying to. I guess that is a good point. Like if you your only risk is your quarterback staying healthy, so you might as well spend money on having a good backup in there. Then because that offense is fine.
You look at how many games last year they lost where they scored 30. Like they lost the playoff game. They scored 31 points and lost the playoff game. So clearly the issues you needed to address on the defensive side of the ball, the offense, even if it takes a little bit of a downturn, you're still probably averaging, 28 points a game or something like that. In the NFL, your defense, as long as you have any kind of product out there for defense, you should be able to win most of those games.
Yeah, and there's a ton of good defensive players that still haven't signed. Like some veterans, I think maybe they might be able to lure some of those in either here camp starts or maybe like as the season goes on and they see the potential of, hey, I could go I get to go be in Miami, and two, I get to go I get a chance to win a ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you compete for a ring. Yeah, a lot of these veteran guys, though, they just don't want to go through camp. They've done that 10 times already and stuff like that. They're like, hey, man, I'll sign a week before the season starts. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going to go out there. I don't need to go through these dog days, these 2 days and all that stuff.
Yeah. So we'll see. So let's take a look at their upcoming season. Sorry, I'm all over the place over here. Patriot 4165 says, don't see any improvements or depth added to O-line. QB better keep his head on a swivel.
That's right. He better do that any damn way.
Yeah. I'll be doing those virtual goggles, right, that they have now that you can do practice taking snaps and stuff that you see those quarterbacks. And I'd be doing that if I were him, just practice having guys come at him.
Yeah, no shit.
He ain't trying to get hit.
He should be eluding people in the grocery store and stuff. I'd just be practicing my dropbacks and scrambles and stuff, running from little old ladies in the food city.
Go to the bakery section. They're just throwing loaves of bread at him that he has to dodge.
Taking 5-step drops and stuff.
Those little powdered donuts.
Man, if you can elude them little old ladies in the grocery store, you can elude anybody.
Indeed. All right, let's see their schedule. Man, the AFC East just has a tough schedule in general. So this is going to be interesting because the Patriots and now it looks like the Dolphins have a tough start. One of these teams could be 0-2 and the other one 2-0.
Very well could be.
I think we know who it's going to be.
Well, we already know they're going 17-0 winning the ring, so it don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. So they open up against the Chargers. I would imagine the Chargers are 1-point favorites in this game.
Dolphins plus 2.5 at the Chargers, plus 115 on the money line, minus 135 for the Chargers. You know, we talk about the Chargers, man. They don't have much of a home stadium. Most of the time in their home stadium, and Miami's one of those teams that will travel well.
That's telling me that the league or these books think that the Chargers are just slightly better than the Dolphins, which
That's what it says.
I think it'd be the other way around because there is no. Yeah, I think the Dolphins would have an edge. I guess. Hey, we'll find out Sunday, September 10th, 1:25 p.m. Pacific.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll see who's right. And you can go bet it if you're confident. So then they got, what is that? Sunday Night Football at New England. Man, 2 road games. Not good. Not good. Also, a fun little fact, the teams that start off with back-to-back road games and then have their home opener in week 3 are, I believe it was win. I don't even think it was ATS. I think only win that third game like 40% of the time. And it gets worse if they are 0-2 as well.
Yeah.
So
the Bengals were first team in hell, I don't know how long, a couple years ago when they made the playoffs after they started 0-2, or that was last year. Started 0-2 and wound up making the playoffs. Yeah.
They but yeah, I mean, so already back to back. And I mean, those are long trips. You gotta fly out to LA. Granted, it's the first game of the season, but you gotta come back to Miami and then fly up to Boston, you know?
Yeah, you're right. That's opposite ends of the spectrum right there.
Yeah, okay. But at New England, what was it? Dolphins were 2-point favorite in this one?
Dolphins minus 2.5 at New England, minus 130 on the money line. The Patriots are plus 110.
All right, they're home against Denver. I think they'll be a 3.5-point favorite against Denver.
Dolphins, yes, you are right. Minus 3.5 at home against the Broncos, minus 175 on the money line. Broncos are plus 150.
Man, after that stat I just gave out, I
did we say that last game was
3.5? Yeah, we did.
Okay, my bad.
Bright lights, baby, bright lights.
That's right.
Hey, Dolphins potentially could start off 0-3. I mean, that's no cakewalk. And then you got Buffalo on deck.
Yeah, I was going to say, then look at that big division game on the road.
Yeah, 3 of your first 4 games on the road, man. Oh man,
2 division games on the road, and what's probably going to be the toughest division.
Yeah, if they can get through this area here, hell, if they can get through that 4-0, we might as well start buying Super Bowl tickets. Betting tickets, that is, for them to win the Super Bowl. But even if you can come out of here somehow 3-1 or even 2-2, look at this: home game, away, home game, bye, home game. What is that? That's
that other away game. That schedule ain't no that for that bye week. That ain't no
October 8th to November 19th. They're home. They're a month and a half. They got a month and a half of basically being home. They got 1 road trip.
That helps too. They played a lot better in Miami last year than they did some of those other spots.
Yeah. Anyways, where are we at? We're at Buffalo. Buffalo 3.5-point favorite.
Yes, sir. The Dolphins plus 3.5 at the Bills, plus 150 on the money line. The Bills are minus 175. One quick thing of note, man. If you'll remember the opening game in Los Angeles out there, they had that little stretch where they played they played the 49ers, and they stayed out there for a whole week on the West Coast, but they got blown out in both of those games last year out there in LA and on the West Coast, just in California in general. So maybe think about that week 1.
Interesting. So then they're home against New York, 4.5-point favorites against New York.
Man, this boy right on the money today. Dolphins minus 4.5 at home against the Giants, minus 200 on the money line. The Giants are plus 170.
All right. And then we got home against Carolina. 6-point favorites against Carolina.
Dolphins minus a touchdown at home against the Panthers, minus 305 on the money line. Panthers are plus 255.
Wait, is that -7?
Yeah, -7. That's a touchdown.
And an
We'll
extra
call it.
point.
Yeah, and an extra point. Yeah, but in the NFL, they're not guaranteed no more since they moved
Yeah,
that
no,
thing
they
back.
are.
But
That's
if
what I'm
I ever
saying.
say minus a touchdown, I'm saying -7, guys.
Okay. Then they're at Philly. Philly, 3.5-point favorite.
Dolphins +4 at the Eagles, plus 160 on the money line. The Eagles are minus 190.
And then we got home against New England, 4.5-point favorites.
Dolphins -4 at home against the Pats, minus 190 on the money line. The Patriots are plus 160.
Oh, and we forgot to mention Sunday Night Football they're playing Sunday Night Football again against Philly. So
okay, they just Sunday Night Football. Okay,
yeah, that is the Sunday Night Football game. All right. Okay, so then they're technically not. Oh, I guess okay. Never mind. That's why I'm gonna say this looks like a home game here. So, but they're actually playing abroad.
That's Germany. That's Germany, I believe, too.
Yeah, that's the first Germany game. Okay, so never mind. They don't have that as good of home stretch.
They're actually not at home. They go very far away from home during that stretch.
That actually sucks. Kansas City, 3.5-point favorite.
Dolphins +4 in Germany against the Chiefs, plus 160 on the money line, minus 190 for the Chiefs. You talked about Belichick getting one of those buys after that international travel. Man, Mike McDaniel put in a call too.
Yeah, he said, hey, listen. Gonna need a break. All right. Well, man, that is a tough stretch. You got New England twice in that stretch. You got one of your Buffalo games. You got Kansas City and Germany. You got Philadelphia, man. Oh my God. You got Denver. I mean, you got a
tough schedule, man. There's some tough spots in the second half too.
I think only the one easy game would be the Carolina. I'm telling you, the AFC East, man, 9 wins might win that division, or 10. They've got a tough schedule outside of their, their division's already tough, but outside of their division, tough schedule.
That's why everybody in this division has such a tough schedule, because the division is going to be stout in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got to play anybody outside of that thing, this schedule gets real rough real quick.
Mm-hmm. So after their bye, their only easy game, I would say easy game, would be Carolina. Maybe you could say New York because it's home. So you got a 2-week stretch where you got games that you're clearly favored in. You know what I mean? Anything could happen.
Then you got to face the 2 teams that went to the Super Bowl in the next 3-week stretch. One of them international. So never an easy thing.
I don't think Andy Reid has ever won in Germany, though, so they got that going for him.
Yeah, that's fair. He ain't never played there.
I know.
They'll be ready to get to this bye week. I know that.
So after the bye week, they open up home against the Raiders. 5-point favorites against Vegas.
-5.5 at home against the Raiders. -225 on the money line. Plus 190 for Las Vegas.
Okay, and then at the Jets, Jets, 1-point favorite.
The Black Friday game, Dolphins +2.5 at the Jets, plus 115 for the Dolphins on the money line, -135 for New York.
Gotcha. Then at Washington, so back to back. Man, Washington's going to be a dumpster fire, and I think that's starting to get priced in. So maybe a 3.5-point favorite on the road here.
Bingo. Dolphins -3.5 at the Commanders, -170 on the money line. Commanders are plus 145.
I think I'd bet that now because I think Washington is going to be a dumpster fire, and Miami, if they're hanging in there, they're going to be motivated to get another win here. It's going to be one of those games that they need to win. So I could see probably by the time this game opens up, Dolphins 6-point favorite if my projections on Washington this season end up being right.
Right.
Then home against Tennessee. 5-point favorites against Tennessee.
This is a Monday Night Football game, and this is weird. I didn't notice this until now, at least on DraftKings. There are 2 Monday Night Football games on this date of December 11th. You have the Packers and the Giants at 8:15. You also have the Titans and the Dolphins. The Dolphins are -7 at home against the Titans, -285 on the money line, and plus 240 for the Titans. But I was going to ask you, have you ever seen this? I know we've seen Monday Night Football. They have the double the double feature, I guess, the first week of the year. But I've never seen us have 2 Monday Night Football
No,
games.
they've been doing that now lately, towards the
When?
end of the
I
season.
I
Yeah.
don't remember 2 Monday Night Football games, especially on a date like Monday, December 11th. I was thinking maybe this is a Christmas Eve thing or, one of those weird dates like that, but this is just a random Monday in December.
Well, two things are going on around that time. College bowl season's about to kick off. So
Yeah.
NFL, of course, wants to have more eyeballs on them. Not that they need it, but also I'm pretty sure that's the Monday before the new NBA basketball tournament is supposed to start the following weekend. The new NBA playoff,
Okay, yeah,
or
the
that little
playing the
tournament, that
in-season
little,
tournament, yeah.
yeah. So I
Playing
think
for
the
the
NFL
NBA.
wanted,
Mhm.
I think the NFL wanted a little extra, like, they've got it, not that
But
they
does
have a
that
hard
help you
time
or
being
hurt
in the
you?
news. Huh?
Does that help you or hurt you, putting 2 Monday Night Football games out there, man? Do you
I don't think anyone gets mad at 2 Monday Night Football games. What time
we
do those
don't, but as
those
far as
games?
ratings and stuff go, I mean, you're always gonna have normally you would have all the Giants and Packers fans watching the Titans and the Dolphins. Now you're gonna have those fans on the I mean, does that hurt you or help you as far as rating goes? I don't know.
We'll find out on
Yeah,
December 11th.
that's right.
What time are those games?
Both of them kick off at 8:15 PM Eastern time.
Oh, so they're at the same
That's what I'm
time.
saying,
That's
they're
what
not
you're
even
saying.
double
Okay.
featuring. Yeah, they're kicking off right at the same time. I've
I
never
thought it was
seen
a
that
double
before.
header.
Yeah,
Okay, I
no.
get the I get it now. I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is strange.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Weird.
And like I said, maybe it has
Weird.
something to do with that play-in tournament or something. I don't know. And we're crossing sports there. I don't know how that really affects that, but I've just never seen this at this point in the season before.
Dolphins mid, says the Mad Chatter. Welcome in, buddy. Glad to have you in.
Mhm.
Um 2 Monday Night Football games, same time as garbage. I miss half Eagles game when watching my Bills. Oh, so I guess that did happen last year. So
Yeah, no,
said he
I
mi
don't. Yeah, I just don't remember it.
that sucks. I thought it was gonna be like we had a later one because I was like, oh, I'll be able to actually be home, settle in, and watch one of these
Yeah,
things.
no,
Damn.
they gonna screw you on both of those games. Like I said, I remember us doing it. Always is happening for the first week of the season. Like I said, you have the double feature. One will start at like 6:15, the other one will start at 8:30 or something like that. But I never remember doing it this late in the season and starting them both at the same time. I'm with Chatter right here, man. I think that's foolish.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Did we say the line on that one? On
Yes,
Tennessee?
Dolphins -7 at home against the Titans, -285 on the money line. Titans are +240.
Not a touchdown, just 7.
Just a tutty. Say, come on, man. Say
Then
different.
home.
You're gonna confuse the people at home, man.
I know. Then home against New York Dolphins, 2-point favorites.
Dolphins -1.5 at home against the Jets, -120 on the money line. The Jets are even money.
What do you think about this?
Hey, man, I got my head on a swivel, man. I ain't like to. My head ain't made of peanut brittle, man. I'm looking.
Oh man. Okay, then after that, well, they're gonna be home against Dallas. That's gonna be a good game. Dolphins 2-point favorite against Dallas.
Dolphins -1.5 at home against the Cowboys, -125 on the money line. Cowboys are +105.
Man, that's tough. Back-to-back weeks, slight favorites. Technically, Vegas saying that those teams are slightly better than you, but you get them at home. Okay. Okay. Then at Baltimore. Man, this is a brutal
Yeah,
schedule. They better be the real deal. They better
absolutely.
be the real deal for this kind of schedule, or else it could get ugly. Let's see. At Baltimore, 3-point favorites.
Dolphins +1 at the Ravens. Both teams are -110 on the money line.
Dude, I got enough hate yesterday. It's coming back in. I missed the Patriot show. Did you find more than 2 wins, Will?
I think we settled
No.
around 6 or 7. Wasn't that
Oh, I said 9. I said 9.
Of course you did. I think your original pick was 17.
Patriot 4165 was betting the plus 200 something for under 6 wins.
Yeah, like we said, when's the last time we saw Bill Belichick get under 6 wins?
It's been a minute. Then home against Buffalo, 1.5-point favorites in that one.
Dolphins -1.5 at home against the Bills, -120 on the money line. Bills are even money.
Chatter says 7 wins, need to lay off the peyote. Hey, the over under is 7.5. So I'm going over. Going over. They're getting 10 wins and winning the division with 10 wins because this division is insane. Okay. Patriot 4-65 says 7-10, maybe 8-9. I don't see them in the playoffs. Yeah, this is brutal. Listen, we'll know real early, and obviously health plays a big part of it. But if they're lighting it up and they're winning these games, man, we got to consider them to buy some AFC champion tickets, some Super Bowl tickets.
Yeah, what are those odds at?
If they can we'll pull those up. If they can get through this schedule, though, if they somehow had an 11 or a 12 win season, dude,
I think it would be pretty clear they are one of the top couple teams in the league if they can get through that and find 11 or 12 wins in that thing.
Which we know anything happens in the playoffs after that, no matter how good of a season you have. But I mean, it would not be a fluke, right? We're not talking about like the Vikings last year with 13 wins and it was like 1-score games and a mediocre schedule.
Yeah.
Let's see. So let's take a look at some of those odds. Starting division. I guess I should actually let's start with their season wins. I want to see that first. So I get for not having it prepared. Damn it. Dolphins 9.5. Oh, and the over, dude. I feel like you're only under 9.5 minus 105. I feel like you play the under in that one because that's a lot of value. And then mid-season, like I said, as the season goes on, you'll know real quick if they're going to be the real deal, and you can find a way to hedge out of this bet.
Yeah, that's true. You're gonna know real quick. Like I said, the proof's gonna be in the pudding right there. We're gonna find out real quick what this team's made of.
They got 3 of their first 4 games on the road. If they come through out of that 3-1, then yep, okay, maybe we need to start looking at division tickets, conference tickets, Super Bowl tickets, all that, and you could hedge out of that bet real quick. So let's go. Speaking of division, let's go to AFC East. Miami Dolphins plus 300. Man, 10 wins, projected 10 wins.
You liked that ticket before today, I think.
I did, but remember yesterday I said let's take a look at that schedule. Oh boy,
that schedule, it don't do them no favors, man.
It sure don't. This would have been me if I only had looked at this yesterday and said, "Oh, plus 300, let's take a flyer on that," without looking at the schedule.
I'm never gonna financially recover from this.
That's how I'd be feeling after looking at that schedule.
You gotta take that ticket and light it on fire, man.
At least I get some warmth from it.
I don't know. We'll see though, man. All those, like we said, all those teams in this division have tough schedules. So it's just gonna be who shows up ready to play on the right day.
I guess. That's scary, man. That's fucking scary.
You're still cashing your 7.5 to 1 ticket on your Pats, man.
Yeah, I feel like I'd rather gamble on that than on the Dolphins.
There's the value. I mean, if you're looking for value, there's the value. The only value I've seen in that division.
Listen, they both got brutal schedules. I'll take the extra, plus 450 on the Pats to bring it up to plus 750 and gamble with that. Jesus.
At least give me a better sweat.
You know what's interesting, and it's just little things I find myself catching because I look at these odds and I do this all the time. The Jets have less odds, just barely, than the Dolphins to win the AFC. Yet, when we looked at the matchups against them this year, the lines would tell you that the odds makers say that the Jets are slightly better than the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So there's a little mismatch there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little weird, a little funny.
It's funny how there's markets inside of these betting markets. You know what I mean? Like there's the money hasn't caught up to certain things. It might be all in one spot. And then you come back and look, and a derivative bet, something like this, that market hasn't actually fully caught up because based off of those odds of those two head-to-head matchups, these should be flipped. And now it's not a huge deal. I mean, we're talking it's ever so slightly, but based off of that, this is what. So if anything, it's telling you were getting a little extra value on the Jets if you bet this now.
And that's the spot you got to look for like that, man. If you see an anomaly out there, something that looks funny to you and things like that, there usually is some value hidden in somewhere. You just got to find the right spot. But I definitely think that adds some value to the Jets right there.
Yes. And then let's see Super Bowl. Dolphins 18-1. Look at here it is. Yet the Jets, another prime example.
That don't make no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. So right there, if you were going to bet it, I would just I would just go bet the AFC Championship Jets. You're getting better value on the Jets.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
that's weird.
The Jets are plus 900 to win the AFC, but only plus 1,400 to win the Super Bowl. Make that make sense. Riddle me that.
I mean, yeah, that doesn't. I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't know, maybe understand.
I might just go bet it, even though I don't think they're going to win the AFC. I might just go bet it because of the value there.
It might be, it might be different if they were cross conference or something like that. But the fact they're coming out of the same division doesn't make any chance why you'd have them one ahead of the other one in one thing and the other one flip flop in the other. It just doesn't make any sense why you would do that. Maybe just because Aaron Rodgers has won a Super Bowl before, they haven't seen Tua do it. I don't know. Maybe they figure if they win the AFC Championship, maybe they're going to win the Super Bowl. Lockdown, there's a better chance that they win the Super Bowl than if the Dolphins make it. I don't know.
That doesn't make sense from the numbers, though.
None of it does, man. None of it does. I'm trying to find some logic here, but I don't see any.
Hell yeah. Patriot 4165 says my plus 1,000 or 10-1 for his Rangers to win the division looks better than ever today. Yes, it does, buddy.
Oh, yes, sir.
It does.
That's a good little ticket to have.
You're gonna be buying some steaks here real soon.
That's right.
Extra steaks, dude. The longest win streak. We finally got one of these on here. I kind of like this. Let's go back to that schedule. Where on this schedule are they winning 4 games in a row? Point it out to me.
Yeah.
Not the first 4 weeks. Even look at even if they started here. No, those 4. No, Buffalo.
Maybe.
Okay, let's start here.
Philadelphia, maybe.
Maybe if they beat Buffalo here, they go here. No, then you got Philadelphia, dude. You got Buffalo and Philadelphia in that stretch. You got New York. Yeah, I guess if they would have to beat Philadelphia here and then win these 4,
Vegas,
and then
maybe after the bye there, if they can get that one in New York.
Yeah, yes, New York. That's not easy, man.
No, not easy at all. But I think that's probably the best.
I got New York twice right there. Let's go.
I think they got better chances of beating New York at New York than beating Philadelphia at Philadelphia.
Yeah, but if you're going to give me plus 110 plus 110 on that they're not going to do it, I'll take plus money on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to write that one down. I might be betting that one later today.
I'm not laying 140. I promise you that.
No. Yeah, I think that's a solid bet, man. Look at the Jets. Over under longest win streak.
You know what that says? We don't know what they're gonna do, man. Yeah, we're gonna throw some added juice on both sides.
They lose the last 4. It doesn't matter how many they lose in a row. This is saying win streak, Patriot 4165. This is can they win 4 games in a row at any point during the season? That is a brutal schedule to I don't know. You're gonna give me plus money on the no. I'm gonna go under 3.5. I might.
Yeah.
Feels like Christmas.
Like I said, I'm not laying 140. You've seen that schedule. I'm not laying 140 to see them win 4 in a row because I feel like it's way more possible they do not win 4 in a row than they do.
Let's see. What do we got here? Dolphins to make the playoffs. Yes, minus 125. Hey, Patriot 4165. You can lay minus 105 on the no. You don't think they make the playoffs?
I'd be more apt to do that just with all the questions with Tua and stuff. Now, if Tua stays healthy, they probably have a much better chance to make the playoffs, but I don't know that he's going to.
I think this is just another one of those bets. Another, like, you put a little bit on what we've talked about already, a little bit on their under. You put a little bit on the no to make the playoffs, and knowing that you're going to have a chance to hedge out of this.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Patriot 4165 agrees as well.
I'll be honest. I don't think I'm going to be holding any Dolphins tickets, period.
I think I'm going to bet some of these against them.
Okay. I mean, going to fade them. Fade the fish.
And then that way, when my Patriots are playing for them, I got even more to root on, like a little extra incentive. I'll probably have money on the game too.
Man, this man got sweats all over, man. That's right.
Yeah, dude.
I love it.
Oh, is there any other one of these you want to look at?
No, I'll give him my prop real quick. Let's see here. Let me find the Dolphins. Tua, 500 plus pass yards in any regular season game. You can get it at plus 650 right now. He had one last year where I think he threw 469. So it was all over that number with Waddle and Hill out there, man. I think that he's going to find that if he can stay healthy, as long as he don't get knocked out of the game in the first week or something. But Tua 500+ pass yards in any regular season game at plus 650, 6.5 to 1.
Dude, that's good with the weapons he has, man.
I like that one, man. I like that one a lot. That's over on
Comeback player of the
DraftKings now.
year. Comeback player of the year to a 25 to 1. I
That's a
mean,
good
it's hard
ticket,
because
too.
Hamlin's such a favorite, but I mean, Tua ends up having like a
MVP season or something. Well, not even MVP, but right there in the conversation. Gotta be, man. He's gotta be that guy.
Especially if you bet this and you bet the prop you just gave, and he throws a 500-yard game. I mean,
You can double dip on that thing.
mm-hmm.